Speed is the New Black officially ended after this happened.
But if I say gold, I want gold. Are these my choices?
These are your choices.
Everybody likes choices.
Everybody likes
good.
choices.
Okay. Well, that's chocolate brown, so that's ridiculous.
Chocolate brown is out.
I don't want chocolate brown. I want gold, like this gold. You keep it.
One of the most consistently popular types of auto shows has been those that bring classic cars back to life, making them look as good as the day they first drove off the lot. There's something amazing when you see an old beat-up car like a 1965 Cadillac Eldorado or a classic 1953 Chevy truck that is quite a bit worse for the wear. But when you get to witness such great vehicles getting restored to new, it turns into something magical. In 2017, the Velocity Network wanted to cash in on this trend, so they gave the green light for a new show called Speed is the New Black. Things went well for a short while, but overall, the show lasted for only 2 seasons. Even for mediocre shows, this is an incredibly short run. But what were the reasons why Speed is the New Black lasted for such a short time? Welcome back to TUNANOCRUST, and today we will be taking a closer look at the hit show Speed is the New Black and why it was taken off the air. If you are new to the channel, then welcome. Be sure to subscribe and tap the notification bell to stay informed of our future Krusty content. We are coming out with crusty new videos all the time and want to continue having you here. Now, without further ado, let's get into it.
You do quality work, Noah.
You know what? Let's get back to the shop. I got a little surprise for you there. I want you to see.
I love the surprise. I can't wait for the surprise. Oh, no!
I was a little worried that you're going to go take up surfing. I don't know.
I love it. I love the... Look at this surfboard. Oh, my God. I love the water. It's beautiful. Oh, shall we go swimming? I love it.
Speed is the new what? When Speed is the New Black first debuted in 2017, it quickly became the network's most watched freshman series. Hosted by Noah Alexander and his team of master craftsmen at Classic Car Studio in St. Louis, Missouri, utilized their talents to restore and customize vehicles in a smooth, refined, and sophisticated way. Each season saw customers bring in classic vehicles that needed to be restored or customized. One episode in particular featured Dale Stewart, bassist of the internationally known rock band Seether, come into the Classic Car Studio with the shell of a 1931 Model A Ford. He wanted to turn it into a mean-looking open-wheel hot rod with a big engine that he could cruise around in when he wasn't on tour with the band. Other highlights include a 1957 Chevy Nomad wagon, a 1970 Ford F-100, a 1970 BMC Mini Cooper, and many other classics. Immediately, viewers took to the show. It was a very classy show that did not rely on showcasing drama or over-the-top modifications. Rather, it showed an immense amount of respect for the classic cars and preserved the integrity for what many would agree is an art form. Additionally, the members of the cast obviously got along with each other. Yes, there was a good amount of smack talk, but it was very obvious that this was banter between good friends. None of the drama that many of the other shows had could be found anywhere in this one. Viewership was very high, as were the ratings. So it didn't make sense to many people that only 2 seasons of the show were made. There was never any reason given why a 3rd season didn't get the green light. Even the Velocity Network has not made it clear what is holding them up from making a new season of an obviously successful television show. So, in the end, that leaves us to pick up the pieces to figure out exactly what is going on and why no plans for future episodes have been made. But with no official answers given, we are left to speculate and ask the questions that need to be answered.
Oh my God. Is that really the car? Look how cool it is. Oh my God. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It just sparkles. It's so cool.
And we put one hell of a power plant in it. So this is a Honda B16. It is a JDM motor, so it's a Japanese motor. Overhead cam, twin overhead, but it makes 170 horsepower.
Did the Velocity Network simply decide to go a different direction? Believe us when we say that we searched far and wide to figure out what actually happened to Speed is the New Black. There was simply nothing available, which seems to be a common trend with these shows, as they are typically run for a set number of episodes and then either renew their contract or part ways. So in trying to get to the bottom of it all, we were left to analyze the other shows that they are still airing. These programs include Bitchin' Rides, Top Gear, Truck U, Two Guys Garage, Chasing Classic Cars, Junkyard Empire, Phantom Works, and many more. With very few exceptions, many of these shows have some common traits to them. First, there is a good bit of drama and tension in many of these programs. Viewers always knew that at some point in any given episode, someone would get angry, slam something, throw something, or any other number of dramatic gestures. While it wasn't an appealing thing for every viewer, it was popular enough to keep this element in many of the shows. Next, a very good number of the shows that are still being aired today work not just to restore the vehicles that are brought to them. They also take the restorations to crazy levels, resulting in a finished product that is more reminiscent of a future vehicle than a classic automobile. This isn't to say that the other shows aren't entertaining or that the mechanics that work on them aren't good at their jobs. As a matter of fact, the opposite is true. But most of them are of a different style that brings a different value to the channel as a whole. So one could only conclude, based on the types of shows that are still getting airtime, that the Velocity Network possibly decided to keep their content geared towards certain viewers with certain preferences.
We do custom builds. Our original deal with the business, we bought and sold a lot of cars, so we were doing very well. Then out of nowhere, 2008 showed up, and that crushed us pretty hard. That put a lot of people out of business. So, you know, it was they were scary times. They weren't fun. I made almost no money, lost a lot in parts of the business, but you know, we came out strong. So.
Could an element of business versus entertainment have been a contributing factor? Speed is the New Black was based around shop owner Noah Alexander and his auto garage in St. Louis, Missouri. It was founded in the mid-2000s by Alexander, who had a passion for classic and muscle cars. At first, he started off buying and selling a good amount of vehicles, but didn't get into the restoration side of the industry. Fresh out of college, Alexander was borrowing money to continue purchasing new vehicles and selling them. However, that was also when America's market crashed. The business had always followed the stock market pretty closely, so when times were good, people would buy cars. When times were bad, though, they stayed away from any extra expenses. Ever since then, Alexander has kept a keen mind to not let his business falter for any reason. As with nearly every reality show based around auto restoration and customization, Speed is the New Black was focused around an already existing business. Even though Alexander was all about making a show with the Velocity Network, he was more about keeping his business going and keeping his employees working. So his mind wasn't about working around the show. It was about making sure the show worked around him and his shop. The thing with having a show is that they do a lot to bring you business. The network will seek out customers and bring them in with the promise of having their vehicles featured. All in all, it is a great situation for the time being. However, this isn't a sustainable scenario. No television show lasts forever, and Alexander knew that. Sacrificing a business mindset would only spell disaster for the business in the future. Plus, even though the shop is located in a fairly large city, there is no promise of work, especially with population densities outside the city being so low. Production companies have their own mindsets, though. Many times, if they get the feeling that their show is not at the forefront of every participant's mind, it creates what they perceive as risk and makes them less likely to want to continue in that direction. Now, this idea has not been confirmed. However, as we said before, there have been no explanations given for why the show hasn't continued on. So this seems like a perfectly logical contributing factor. Overall, though, the actual reason for the show fading from the lineup is a mystery. Ratings were very high, and the channel had no problems getting viewers to tune in. But even though there has been no word about the cancellation, we can take one positive thing from it. There has been no confirmation that it won't come back either. It makes just as much sense for the studio to bring the show back. With no confirmation either way, we can be left to hope, and that is what we will do. Speed is the New Black was a phenomenal show and deserves to get another run.
Ultimately, we're going to cut out the entire floor anyway and build new floors and a new trunk. So it doesn't really matter that the floor is really messed up because it's going bye-bye.
Where are they now? The Classic Car Studio still opens its doors today to restorations, modifications, and one-of-one builds. The shop is still in Missouri, and yes, Noah Alexander is still at the shop. We asked the shop for their comment on why their show left the air in 2018, but they denied answering any such questions. So it's left for us to assume that either the stress of filming created too much of an issue, or the Velocity network couldn't strike a deal with the CCS. It was a good run, and we wish them the very best. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to take a quick look at our Crusty merch store. I promise that you'll either get a good laugh or get a slimy, cheap, one-of-a-kind design. If you've enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like. We want to know that we are doing a good job for you, our viewers. Also, for more amazing content, be sure to check out some of our previous videos. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon. We'll see you next time.